What up? It's Skidly G, back with another video. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. This is lesson 57 on Saxon L57. We're gonna get into it. Negative exponents, scientific notation for small numbers. All of it. Let's go. Okay, so as you know, negative exponents, literally the worst. But, we don't have anything else to do here today, so let's get into it. Alright, so, when you're looking at negative exponents, it says Kantara. Who would even name their kid Kantara? Oh, anyway, so, Kantara multiplied 0.5 zeros and a 1 by 0.5 zeros and a 1, I guess, on her scientific calculator, because I guess we use these, so, Skidly D knows how it is. So, you get basically a lot of zeros when you do that. So let's break it down. Alright, so it says, I'm reading literally what it says here. Studying the pattern below may help us to understand the meaning of a negative exponent. I don't even know what this means. Why put 10 to the 6 over 10 over 3? What even is that? Oh. Okay, I guess, whatever. So, because it says 10 over 6, you basically put 6 tens multiplied by each other, I guess? So, let's get into it. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, so we've got 6 tens, and then I guess on the bottom it says 10 to the third. So we put 3 tens because it's 10 to the third. Obviously, I guess. But what am I supposed to do from here? Literally. Oh, okay. Alright. So, bros, I guess what you do is you cancel it out. So, there's 3 tens on the bottom, so I guess they, attack the tens on top or something. I don't know. It's like a video game or something. So, you're left with 3 tens. So, that equals... So since the 3 tens on the bottom, attack the ones on top, you just have the 3 tens left over. So, it's basically 10 to the third, because there's 3 tens. Which, if you multiply, I'm going to use my calculator, because no way I'm, going to actually use my brain to do that. So, 10 to the third is, 10 times 10 times 10, which would equal, I don't even, it's, blurry. It would equal 1,000. So, 1,000. So, that's basically what happens when you're dealing with some negative exponents, I guess. So, let's go to example 1, I guess. Alright. So, example 1, we haven't even seen this before. For real? Okay. This is stupid, but we're gonna go for it. Example 1 is A, and it's 2 to the 0 power, but what is 2 to the 0 power? I don't understand. Oh, it says the exponent is 0. So if the exponent is 0 and the base is not 0, 2 to the 0 power will always equal 1. So if it's to the 0 power and it doesn't matter what the bigger number is, it's going to be 1, I guess. So just remember that, I guess. Okay, let's look at B. Alright. Jeez, how much longer of this do we have? Alright, so B, 3 to the negative 2 power. So this is where we bring in what we talked about a few minutes ago, where it was 10 to the 6th power over 10 to the 3rd power, I guess. So we have 3 to the negative 2 power. So basically what this means is we have 3 to the negative 2. So because it's a negative exponent, we're going to put the 1 on top. And we're going to, make it a fraction, because if it's 3 to the negative 2 power, it's going to be a smaller number than 3, obviously, because we're multiplying it by a negative, I guess. So, 3 times negative 2 equals 1 over 3 over 2. So that's how we can make it positive. So then we have 1 over 3 squared, or 1 over 3 to the second power. So that equals 1/9. So that's smaller than the number 3, right? So we know we've done it right at this point. Woo! We did it. So, anyhow, we get 1/9. And that's the answer. That's literally the answer. Okay, let's try it with C, I guess. Like I'm feeling like a little bit better about this now. Like I'm feeling like I'm getting in the flow. So, let's get into it. Let's do it. So, C. 10 to the negative third. Excuse me, that could have messed us up big time. 10 to the negative third. So remember, it's negative, so it needs to be smaller than 10. So the first thing we're going to do is basically divide it, or really we're changing it into a fraction. So we're putting 1 over on top, and now we have 10 to the positive third power, 10 to the third. So that basically equals 1 over 10 times 10 times 10. We're getting it. We are totally getting it. Okay. So 10 3 times. So again, like if I did that on my calculator, because like using your brain is like boomer. So 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. So we have 1 over 1,000. That's our answer. I guess. Gosh, it wants us to turn this into a decimal. Are you serious? Okay. So anyway, if we were going to change this into a decimal, it's 1/1000th. So I guess we set it up. We have 0 point. This would be the tens place, so we're going to put a 0 there. This would be the hundreds place. We're going to put a 0 there. The next one's the thousands place, and we have 1 and 1,000, or 1/1000th. So I guess that's how it would be as a decimal. Like, if that's what they want you to do, I guess do it. Okay, anyway, moving on. Scientific notation for small numbers. This is literally the worst. Oh. Okay, wait. Alright, so it's not as bad as I thought originally. But, like, you know, that's what we do here. You know, we analyze, I break it down, I react. So, if we have a number like 2.54 times 10 to the negative 2 power. Like, so remember, if it was positive 2, we would move the decimal point to the right. So if it's positive, we go to the right, because that's the right thing to do, right? If we're being positive, we're going to do the right thing. If we're being negative, we're going to go to the left, because left is losers, and losers are negative. So, I guess. So, if it's a positive exponent, move the decimal to the right. If it's a loser, if it's a negative, you're moving to the left, because losers go left. So, anyway, if we had 10, or 2.54, gosh, 2.54 times 10 to the negative second, we're going to move the decimal over 2 places. So, basically, if I was you, this is what I would do. I would put, like, several zeros in front of 2.54 to, like, give me something to move it to. So I'd start here, so I'd go 1, 2. So my final answer would be 0.0254. And that would be 2.54 times 10 to the negative second, scientific, written out, like you're converting the scientific notation. So let's try another one. So, we have, oh my gosh, this one again. Okay. 6.32 times 10 to the negative 7. So again, it's a negative exponent. You already heard it. You know what to do. So, negatives are losers. Losers go left. So, we're going to have to move this 7 times. Like, I don't even know what to say. But that's what we're going to have to do at this point. So, go ahead, put your zeros out. That's probably going to help, I think. Just, like, put a couple out and then 6.32, and then you move the decimal over 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got one more 0. 7. Oh my gosh. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So we have 0.6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 3, 2. And that will be our final answer for that. So if they ask you to write it in standard notation, if they give you like 6.32 times 10 to the negative second, you're going to know what to do because you're going to write it in standard notation, which is moving that decimal point. Remember, if it's a loser, it's going to the left, it's negative. If it's positive, it's going to the right, because when you're positive, you do the right thing. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but, you know, like, it's gonna help. Because, obviously. So, it sounds like you guys are ready for the practice set. Alright, so, let's get that set up, I guess. So we're going to simplify A. Basically, simplify means solve, remember that. And we're going to do D, and we're going to do G. So, you know how it is. Let's get into it. Pause this video, like, come back in a minute, and we'll like, go over it. We're back at it. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment if you want. Helps the algorithm. Okay. Alright. So, we have A. So I guess we're going to do this. 5 to the negative second power. So remember that if we have this little situation, like, we're going to basically put it into fraction form. So, we're going to put 1 over it, and we're going to make it 5 to the second power. And so then it's 1 over 5 squared. Well, 5 squared is 25, so we get 1/25 as our answer. D. Write each number in scientific notation. So this, don't let it trip you up, okay? Because all you got to do is see how many times you need to move that decimal place over, and you write it out. So, for example, right? You know we talked about left is losers, so they're negatives. So if we get a number like this, like D, we have 0. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 5. Then what we're going to have to do, because this is a small number, we're going to have to count to the right to get the decimal point between the 2 and the 5. The reason for that is it's just cleaner if you have like 2.5 times 10 to the whatever power. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be 2.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. Now, I totally get it. You may be saying, why isn't it positive? We moved to the right. I thought the same thing, right? Like, I get it. So, the reason why is because if we did 2.5 times 10 to the 7th, you'd get like 250,000 or like some huge positive number. And obviously that's not a huge positive number, right? It's negative. It's small. It's 0.6 zeros and then 2 5. So, like, use your math sense, you know. Like, you know what to do. Alright, write each number in standard form. So we have 4.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. We are not going to let this trip us up. We're going to get right into it. So, we have 4.5 times 10 to the negative 7th. Let's put our zeros down because losers go left and are negative, so we know that's where we're headed. So, 4.5, and then I'm going to put a bunch of zeros in here like to help me keep track, you know, because I'm going to have to do this again. So we're going to move it 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to have 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 4, 5. And that's the answer. Like, you're seriously done right now. Can you believe it? Well, I mean, like, other than the mixed practice. which, like, is dumb or whatever, but you gotta do it, you know? So, if you had to compare these numbers, you know, you just write them out in their standard form like we just did, and look at which number's bigger. So, again, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming back for another video. Skidly D out.